It's a very sunny day, but way too cold to do a Sunday stroll through the fields. So instead I thought I'd do a different kind of stroll, a stroll through my bookshelves and share with you some of the books that were pivotal in my gardening and flower farming journey, both from a farming, a designing, and a business perspective. So come on inside. Say hi to Betty. I have several bookcases in my house, and this one is specific to my books, and in particular books that are relevant to my business and to gardening and cut flowers. The other bookcases have books specific to classics and poetry, cookbooks, novels, but this one's all about flowers and gardening and the business of flowers and gardening. So up here, there are some business books and manuals. Of course, there's a lot of empty space because there are several boxes, having recently moved into this house, boxes of books that I've yet to unpack. But these kind of traveled with me, so they were one of the first ones to be unpacked. This section here is about kind of gardening and the philosophy of gardening, regenerative gardening, natives and all of that. This here is really about flower farming, homesteading, ecological farming. This section here is about flower design, cut flowers, and garden designing. This shelf has a lot of the manuals and books on standards and reference books. So I reach for these books quite often. And then this shelf down here has some recent cut flower quarterly magazines. Some of my books. This is my flower garden planner and journal, as well as the recently published Flower Farmers book by Deborah Prinzing and Robin Anthony. And Sweet Earth is featured, one of the flower farmers featured in this book. And so we have that available for sale, but I also have it on my bookshelf because it's very inspirational for me. And then also some books on birding, which is a current interest of mine. So sketching and bird watching. That's supplies of some of the books for sale. But what I thought I'd do is highlight some of the books that are integral to my learning, that was important, that I've gleaned a lot of great information from. And some of the new ones that I'm looking forward to diving into this winter, as well as some that I read over again every year. My gardening and flower farming journey started over 15 years ago as a result of having been diagnosed with cancer and wanting to grow my own food and know that I was supporting my immune system with herbs and organic foods and wholesome foods. I started studying, and at some point I connected with Dr. Michael Finkelstein, who lived nearby and is a holistic doctor, practiced traditional medicine for a long time, and then moved into integrative medicine. I worked with Dr. Michael Finkelstein and his wife, Robin, who is a holistic therapist, in creating a gardening and agriculture program that really coincided with their holistic practice. And I did that for several years. He wrote this book called Slow Medicine, which was kind of a build on slow food. And from this is where I kind of got the idea about slow flowers and pursuing education in this slow flower world. And so that led me to this book, which is The 50 Mile Bouquet by Deborah Prinzing. And this was kind of the book that launched my journey into flower farming, and in particular to local flowers and regenerative growing. So before I get into these other kind of flower specific or flower farming books, my journey started with herbs and food first. And so I wanted to share these books, which are really more about the kind of mindset and ethos of regenerative farming and connecting to nature, growing in harmony with nature. So this one needs no introduction. It's The One Straw Revolution by Masanobu Fukuoka. I hope I said that right. But this is one of the books that I come back to often, and I read again and again. And sometimes I just go to certain sections. You can see it's pretty kind of dog-eared, and I've used this receipt. I don't know what it's from because it's so old that it's worn out. But anyway, so I refer to this book often, and it kind of keeps me aligned with the vision I have of how to connect with nature and grow sustainably. This other one, Second Nature by Michael Pollan, and he's written a lot of books on growing, organic growing, and regenerative practices. So this one is one that I also go back to a lot. This one is called Deadhead, the Bindweed Way to Grow Flowers. This one is really good. Again, it's more practical. So it talks about the philosophy and the mindset, but then it goes through the practices of flower farming from that perspective. So I really like this book. And again, you could see that I refer to it. Sometimes what I do is when an issue comes up that I need to kind of dive into, again, for instance, weeds on a particular weed, or how to deal with weed pressure overall, especially in this new farm space that I'm at, this new land. I will be going through these because they all have a chapter or two on weeds and how to deal with them. And so one is from kind of a philosophy, one is practical. And if I refer to all three of them together, I can really get a great picture on how to pursue or how to, attack this challenge that's coming up in terms of weeds. So, but it's more than just a book about weeds. It's a book about how to garden and farm in harmony with nature. To that end, actually, before I go into that, this one's also good because it has to do, again, with a mindset and connecting with nature and the land, but from a different perspective. This one is called Digging Deep, Unearthing Your Creative Roots Through Gardening by Fran Soren. And this one is really great because it reminds me that sometimes gardening not only is great for your health and wellness, but it's also great for kind of your soul in terms of inspiring creativity and all sorts of possibilities with respect to the gifts that nature can bring you. So I like this book a lot as well. I have a lot of books on gardening and how to, in terms of, from an ecological and a sustainability perspective. These are two that I really like. This is The Ecological Farm, and it goes through a lot of the no-till and kind of natural fertilizers and all of that. So this is, it's got a lot of data and a lot of how-to and tactical information. This one as well is called Lawns into Meadows, and it's about creating a regenerative landscape. So I've referred to this book a lot when I'm doing some garden design work, and also when I created the kind of meadowscape that's going to be part of my new farm. One book that is not here that is super important, and actually came before these for sure, is a book by Doug Tallamy, who's a noted entomologist, and it's called Bringing Nature Home. He's also got several other books. Another one is called Nature's Best Hope. And those books were really instrumental. I went to several lectures that Doug Tallamy gave and connected with him in terms of the message that he is really great at promoting, which is that every little bit helps. And we could all do our part in promoting sustainability and supporting pollinators. So those are definitely you should check out, especially the Bringing Nature Home. And then moving on to some flower-specific books. I was super intrigued by Cool Flowers by Lisa Mason Ziegler. And this was great because it helped me understand how to work within my planting zone and my climate and how to extend my flower growing season. So this one was great. But again, this one built on the foundation of this book, which is The Flower Farmer by Lynn Basinski. And this was kind of like the OG of flower farming books. So again, I refer to this one a lot as well. Lisa Mason Ziegler has another book on cut flowers. It's more of a handbook, and it's got some great pictures. So if I ever have a question about a specific crop or a variety, this is a good book to refer to. New for me, and it's on my list to finish going through this winter, is this book, How to Grow the Flowers, and it's a sustainable approach. It's by Marianne Mogendorf and Camila Romaine. And I was drawn to this book really because it had a lot of the way that the content is organized. It really focused on soil first and then the plants. And then it's organized by seasons, which really plays to the seasonality of local flowers. If you know me, you know that I love dahlias. So this book, Dahlias Seed to Bloom by Christine Albrecht and Brian Sprinsock, that's her husband. If you are familiar with the dahlia varieties that start with KA, those were all hybridized and bred by Christine Albrecht. And so this is, I mean, she's a pro at this, and this has a lot of technical information and great pictures. So this is one that I refer to a lot. There's another one that she and Brian put together. This one is really more for dahlia breeding, and I'm intrigued by it, but I'm not there yet in terms of my flower farming practice. It's something that I dabble with, but it's not the direction that I want the flower farm to go in right now. So, but it's also just, I'm intrigued on how it's done. So this one's got great pictures as well. Important are some magazines for some quick reads. Now, I'm a member of this American Association of Specialty Cut Flower Growers, ASCFG, and they have this Cut Flower Quarterly, which is a great magazine. And if you haven't heard of them, I suggest you take a look on their website, the ASCFG.org. They've got so much great information on growing and designing and all of that. They've got great courses and conferences, workshops, but the Cut Flower Quarterly is a great resource. Also, Fine Gardening. I like this magazine. I like their pictures. I've been a contributor of articles to this magazine, which is great. And I look forward to doing the same with the Cut Flower Quarterly. These are two new ones that I picked up last year, and they are on my list to do a deep dive this winter. This one is the Floral Standards put together by the Seattle Wholesale Growers Market. And this one is a guide to floral mechanics by Sarah Diligent and William Massock. This one, I got turned on to this book by Joseph Massey, who is a British floral designer. He's amazing, does a lot of great work with sustainable mechanics and design. And so I'm interested to kind of take a look at this and go through it this winter. And then this one again, this is, I think, a bit current in terms of what the market, the designers, the wholesalers are expecting a quality product to look like and to be sold as. So I'm looking forward to reading this book. I have, of course, have my own book, which is the Eco-Friendly Cut Flower Garden Journal and Planner. And so this is basically how I kind of plan out my crop plan and succession planting and all of that, and how I break my garden tasks down seasonally. So this is a helpful book as well if you're interested in that. This one is a new one just published last year. Again, it's by Deborah Prinzing and Robin Avney, and she, if you recall, was what started me on the slow flower journey years ago. And this book is features flower farmers from across the U.S., and it talks about their journey into flower farming and offers expert advice on a particular crop. And so am honored to be featured in this book as one of the flower farmers. And the flower that I'm talking about is actually not a flower. It's a group of plants, the herbs, which are a super important crop that I grow, and I use it for not only culinary purposes and teas, but also in my bouquets, and I dry it as well. So it's a cornerstone of my crop plan, and it's actually how I started growing and gardening, again, growing herbs to support my immune system through my cancer journey. So anyway, this is a beautiful book, and I've read through some of the other flower farmers chapters, but I do want to go through it a bit more and read up. So this, again, with these two flower standards and the mechanics, they're on my reading list for this winter. Let's see. I also have non-farming and non-flower books because I am running a business. It's more than a hobby, and so it's important to make sure that I run it as a business. And some of the business books that I like to read and that I've referred to often, one of them is called Profit First, and by Michael Michalowicz. I don't know how to say that, but this is a really great book, not just it's for any small business, I believe. It's a money mindset book, and also offers great practical advice on how to manage your cash flow and improve your money situation. So this is a good one. Another one that is not here, but it's a great book. Again, I've lent it out, so I don't have it here, just like the Doug Tallamy books, I lent those out. But this one is called Atomic Habits. It's by James Clear, and his work is fundamental in how to approach life in general in terms of goals and mindset and systems. And so if you haven't read Atomic Habits, I strongly encourage you to pick up that book. I have that book as a hard copy that I've lent out, but I also have it on an audio file. So I refer to that book a lot. Every year I read some of it. And then lastly, I wanted to just share some of the books on topics that are beyond gardening and flower farming, but do have to do with connecting with nature that I'm very interested in now, and I do want to pursue my develop my education in those areas. So one of them is bird watching and botanical drawing of birds. So line drawing. So here are a couple of books on drawing. Again, it's another creative expression for me. And this one is The Law's Guide to Nature Drawing and Journaling. And this one is Botanical Line Drawing. This one is called The Backyard Bird Chronicles. It's by Amy Tang, and she's written novels that I absolutely love. I love her writing, and this one just happens to be about bird watching. So again, it's a different, completely different avenue of writing that and content that she's created. I've read her novels previously, but this one is really more about more of a reads as a journal of her bird watching journey. In addition to bird watching, there is another topic that I've been studying and wanting to learn more and become more proficient in, and that is forest therapy. And the book that started me on that journey is called The Nature Fix by Florence Williams. Again, I've lent that book out, but it was a book that was instrumental in helping me kind of move outside of the garden area and into more nature and forests, and wanting to learn more about how we find wellness and health in the forest. And so now that my new farm does come with acres of forest, I do want to create an experience for people to connect with nature and specifically enjoy experiences and wellness activities in our forest. So there's that Nature Fix book, and also I'm waiting on a book called Forest Therapy, The Potential of the Forest for Your Health, because I've always wanted to know the why behind something. And so this book has a lot of the science behind forest therapy that I'm looking forward to getting up to speed on. So this winter, besides the bird watching and the forest therapy, I do have these books that I want to get through. Again, the floral standards, the floral mechanics, and read more on the flower farmer's book. There are a lot of other books that I haven't talked about, specifically books on herbs. And I have a whole bookcase on herb books, and so that's probably another video. But there are amazing books out there to help you learn how to grow herbs and how to use them for medicinal purposes and wellness. That's pretty much it that I wanted to share. Again, it's a cross section of different areas and topics, but these are all books that were important to me in my flower farming journey and my gardening journey, and that I refer to often and use as a resource. If you have any questions about any of the books that I've talked about, please leave a comment and I will be sure to get back to you. I might also list in the comments or in the narrative portion of this video a list of the books that I've referenced in this video. Thanks for coming on this bookcase stroll with me, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye for now.